Welcome back, everyone. Jim here. Today I've gotten a little bit off topic, away from the camp build. It seems like we get these little annoyances, you know, that pop up and you have to take care of them. So we'll be back to the camp build as soon as you can imagine. My KZ camper, the one we use to travel around the state. The other camper that's up to camp now, we leave it there. This one we travel around with because it's got room for the motorcycles in the back. It's a toy hauler. 2006. And the water heater, when I opened it up this year, started leaking, so it failed. Anyway, I'm going to be replacing this with a new one. This is a 2006 KZ toy hauler camper, and the water heater is an SW6DE by Suburban. And if anybody who have a camper, you've probably seen material like this that comes with it. So this is what I'm going to be replacing today. A couple of cautions to start. If you are not comfortable with working around electricity, obviously this has got electric power hook to it. If you're not comfortable working with gas, propane, if you're not comfortable with just working with common hand tools, do not attempt this. Leave it for the RV dealer. But if you're comfortable with DIY stuff, make sure you watch a couple YouTube videos, get familiar with it. But obviously, be safe. Be safe. Do not take what I say for gospel. And just be careful if you attempt this. First thing I need to do is drain the water heater. So I'm going to first off make sure the water is shut off, and then I'm going to pull the bottom plug. And this bottom plug's 1 1/16 inches, so you need a huge socket. Six gallons of water in there, supposedly, but like I say, this one leaks, so I may not get anything out of it. It's got some, I guess. That's your anode, and these get pretty corroded depending on the kind of water that you have. Now, on the surface, it would appear, you might say to yourself, how come there's so much water in there if it's a bad water heater and leaking? So, truth be told, it'll hold water. But as soon as you put any pressure to it, it leaks. And it's leaking from the bottom of the tank someplace. I can't see because the styrofoam is all around it. Open this top valve and let air go in. It'll drain a little faster. First thing I need to do is take this cover off. These are 1/4 inch bolts. It's got some kind of rubber seal behind it. I'm not sure how much that's holding it on there, so I might have to pry it off once I get the bolts off. I'll take the door off first. The door is these bottom two. You might need a helper. Obviously, the door doesn't come with the unit. Now, I've already shut the gas off, and I've purged the lines, so I know there's no gas in here. The electrical is off at the breaker, so it should be good to bring out. But I've got to take off all these screws first. It's a 1/4 inch driver for all these screws, and I'm not going to do it by hand. I'm going to use my handy dandy DeWalt. The DeWalt driver sure makes an easy job of it. I'm not worried about removing all the screws because, like I said, it's pretty well glued on there. There's also a couple of screws here that hold this outside ring on. Okay? Once you get the outside ring off, then you got access to the outside of the water heater. The outside ring, I would say, is a square head. Something like that. And these are long screws. Make sure to save the screws because you're going to have to use them again. That should be, oh, excuse me, I got one more at the top. Almost missed it. Alright, so that's all the screws. Now the next thing is, like I say, trying to pry it off. Now they've got some extra screws in here. I'm going to have to look at the water heater. Okay, so these extra screws, that's actually the electrical box on the other side. So this should be, well, I take that back. Look, they got a screw right in the side there and a screw in the side there. And I'm not sure if that's extra. I didn't see it on all videos. So, let's take these off. Once you've inspected all the way around to make sure the screws are all out, other than being glued on, it would probably come out. Now I'm not going to bore you with watching me try to unglue all this because that's going to take a bit. But once I get this off, I'll get back to you. I don't know if you'd call this lucky or what, but this plate that goes in here apparently is rusted a little bit around the inside edge underneath, and when I pull this out, I'm getting the whole water heater with it. Now it could be my lack of understanding of how this goes together. I thought that the ring come off by itself, but perhaps the ring is hooked to the inside of the water heater. In any case, that's good. I'll just pull the whole unit out. First I got to unhook the gas line. Okay, so there is the control box right here, and you can see it's got one screw at the top holding that on. Then I've got a bottom water to unhook, top water to unhook, The yellow line is the electric, and I can unhook that when I pull the water heater out. This black line you see just below the yellow line, that's the gas line. There's nothing else holding this. It sits on a platform. It's wedged in. You can see there's two trigs there. One is right there. The other one is right there. It kind of sets in on those. That's all that holds it. That and the outside rings. So I'll be back as soon as I unhook these. I'm going to run inside real quick just to make sure nothing else is in the way. And it looks like we're good to go. I need to pull it out far enough to undo the electric cord. Okay, that's the electrical box there. I'm not sure if you can see the yellow wire that goes into it from the camper, but the next thing we need to do is get access to the electric. I've disconnected all the wires. I've disconnected the gas. She should come right out of there. I didn't go through which wires connect to which wires because your RV might be different. I'm just following the coloring that these ones went. So when you take yours apart, if you attempt it, make sure to write down what these three wires go to, because you'll need to reconnect them. And she's out. Okay, so I've got all the fittings off of the old tank that I need to get off. I've actually got it in my garbage area, so I'll make sure to take it to the dump. But focus in on this spot right here. That is why she was leaking. The tank had rusted out. Of course, I made the hole a little bit bigger with my screwdriver. But not sure how long it had been leaking for, but that's probably new this year is my guess. Now, I've always winterized it, but nevertheless, they don't last forever. Okay, so I've managed to get the new one back in the hole. Got the trim ring around it. I'm going to reconnect the wires. The gas line will be the last thing I connect because it's so stiff. But I'll connect the wires, then I'll put the caulking on, push it into the caulking, and screw it to the housing. It is a tight fit, let me tell you. Okay, gas line's hooked up. Now the worst part is the caulking all around. And the door shuts. Alright. I'm going to leave you for a little while, a little final tune up on it, and I'll be back as soon as I got it working. Okay, well, And you probably can't hear it, but it's running. It's on, doing all kinds of crackling, you know, the first time when it first heats up. But she filled with water, no leaks. The gas is good. I didn't try the DC, but I mean there's no reason for that not to work. I've got electric shore power, so that's what I'm using. So now it's just a matter of letting the hot water heat up. Hey, we're good to go. Thanks for watching. Might have been kind of a long video, I'm not sure. I'm going to speed up parts probably. But it wasn't that bad a job. Like I said, if you're comfortable with DIY, around propane, around AC, around DC, and around water pipes, it might be something you could try, but don't go on my say-so. Make sure you check it out. Thanks again. I'll be back with more videos.